So in 2025, we are spoilt for choice when it comes to choosing effect pedals. But have they really improved that much since the mid-2000s? Let's find out. So today we're going to launch a bit of a mini series. We're going to have a look to see if a modern multi-effect processor can compete with one from the year 2008. But if you like this sort of stuff or you think it's entertaining or fun, please consider liking and subscribing. Leave a comment down below if you've got either one of these pedals or if you've got any tips for them. And then after we finish up, I will let you know my final thoughts. Specifically today, we're going to have a look at reverbs, and the two models we're going to have a look at from the old school. This big nugget, Line 6 M13 versus the Hotone Ampero Stomp 2. I realize this is not a flagship device. It's not like a HX Effects or anything like that, but it is current. The sounds in it are good. We're not using any of the amps that are in this. So for the rig today, we're going to go straight into a Behringer Centaur. I haven't really used it yet, so I thought I might crack it out. Going into the Tonex one, just on a Vox AC30 clean sound, but I'll show you what the clean sound is in a second. And then we're going mono out from the Tonex into the input of the Ampero, stereo out into the M13, and then stereo out into the interface. So if the effects that we're going to listen to have a stereo capability, it will be in stereo. The four different reverb effects that we're going to have a look at today: a room, a plate, a spring reverb, and then like an ambient sort of cloudy sort of scenario. I'm not going to tell you which one we're listening to. I want you to write down in the comments which one, either A or B, sounds better for each one of the different types of reverb. Let's have a look to see who comes out on top. I think you might be surprised. Righto, legends, that was a old as shit multi-effect pedal versus a new multi-effect pedal. All right, so can you guess which one was which? Leave it down in the comments, let me know. I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. A was the Ampero Stomp, and B was the M13. So for the Hotone, it's a club-sized room. Line 6 is the room reverb. The Hotone is a large plate, and then the Line 6 one just calls it a plate. The spring reverb in the Hotone is modeled after a solid state spring tank from an amp, where the M13 is modeled after a 1963 Fender reverb tank head. And then on the Hotone, it's called the Cloud. It's pretty much like a Strymon cloudburst sort of scenario. And then the Line 6 is the particle verb. Let's get the sounds out of the way first. I think it was really close. I really do. I think the M13, the spring reverb over the Hotone, the spring reverb in the Hotone sounds poo. Oh, poo. In saying that, it doesn't really sound like a proper spring reverb in the M13 either, but it does sound better than the Hotone. The Cloud on the Hotone sounds sick. The particle verb on the M13 sounds a little bit rubbish. It sounds like the stuff that you're playing, the note that you're playing is on top of the reverb instead of being a part of it, which I think the Hotone does really well. All in all, I reckon, surprisingly, I'm going to give this one to the M13.
I think I'm just in shock.
While I would like to have a better single ambient reverb, like a cloudburst sort of scenario, the beauty of this is you can have 4 reverbs in a row, so you can have the biggest, lushest, ambient, fucking massive shoegaze reverb if you really want to. And then for the other part of the comparison, let's just actually have a quick look at the units themselves. Relatively small, 3 buttons, you can set it up, so 1 foot press does a whole bunch of different stuff. Really cool. This thing weighs more than the center of the fucking universe, and it is huge. So it's not really practical to throw in a, in a gig bag. It's not practical to put on a pedal board, but for what I'm using it for, purely as like a studio tool, it's awesome, sounds great. So to give you a quick size comparison of the devices, the Hotone is considerably smaller and more portable, so it gets the win for that. If you were going to get one of these to stick on a board, have a look at an M9, because they're pretty cheap, but there is a reason Line 6 still use the legacy effects and all that current stuff. It sounds great. If it was up to me, I'd probably go out and buy an M9 if I wanted to stick it on a pedal board, because the M13 is just fucking ridiculous. It's way too big. Like I said, for a studio tool, it is awesome. But please like and subscribe. We're going to do a couple more videos for modulation and delay. I haven't done filter or any of those sort of pitch effects at this stage. If that's something you want to see, let me know, and I'll do those videos too. But anyway, that is enough rambling out of me. I will see you next time. Cheers. Bye.